There we are. Sup, y'all? Welcome to Original Gamers Podcast. I am your host, Patrick Ryan, also known as Huge Cow Patty or HCP for short. And this week, I am joined by Nolan. What the heck?
What?
I have the video playing in the background. Let me pause that. There we go. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but I could hear it, and it was very weird. I'm joined this week by Nolan Brown.
Hey, everybody.
And we have a very special guest from the land down under, Mr. Daniel Moxie.
Wow.
That's how they say hi in Australia.
But actually, Patrick told me to do that, everyone.
I feel like that was a thing in Crocodile Dundee, right? That people would say hi to him.
I don't know.
He would just belch.
Crocodile Dundee is very inaccurate. They say shrimp. No one says shrimp over here.
You guys eat prawns, right?
We eat prawns.
Right.
Apparently, they're actually different things.
They are, in fact, different things.
Are they? I didn't know that.
Prawns are usually like very large. Like,
yeah.
I have no reference to give you, but like about gay pig as opposed to like shrimp or like that or something.
Not that. Even jumbo shrimp aren't.
No, honestly,
big.
prawns are small as well. Like,
oh, really?
Oh.
Prawns come in all different sizes.
Oh, what do I know?
Really interesting gaming conversation we're having.
Yeah. Well, actually, that is part of the first segment of the show. We do shoot the brief, and usually when this show winds up being like an hour and a half to 2 hours long, the first little bit is 30 minutes of it. But since I'm on a time crunch, we don't have 30 minutes. So, Daniel, since you're the guest, we'll start with you. Tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
I enjoy taking exercise and long walks by the beach.
Hence the shirt. It's exercise.
Exercise.
Yeah. It goes down to eggs are sides for bacon.
I've seen that shirt.
Yeah, so I'm Australian. If you haven't picked that up yet, I have a sick beard. I am predominantly a PC gamer. I also have a Wii U, which I'm playing a lot of Zelda on at the moment. Can't afford a Switch, unfortunately.
Aww.
I'm a Christian, and I know nothing about today's topic.
There you go. Are you enjoying Zelda on the Wii U? I mean, I realize it's like the same game.
Freaking loving it.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite game. It's just a shame that the soundtrack's not quite as good as usual.
Yeah, I mean, I have tiny little itty bitty complaints that I very quickly forget about the minute I start playing it. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. But like I think the first time while I was playing the game that I noticeably was disappointed was when I walked into Kakariko Village and I didn't hear the Kakariko Village song, and I was like, it made me sad.
Yeah, they got some weird tune.
Right.
It's a shame.
And I don't know. I hate to say that it's not good. The music in that town. Like my favorite town music is, and I'm going to say it wrong. Hot-no or hate-no.
Latino.
There you go.
It's like Latino with an H.
There you go, with an H. So. We're broadcasting in America. That's racist. I don't know how y'all do it down in Australia now.
We don't care that much, honestly. Like I see all these big debates between the two groups in America, and I'm like, you guys, you're so sensitive. Just chill.
We are.
You're like, I'm fighting off a giant spider that's trying to kill me. I got time.
I've literally been brushing a spider off my desk just before we started recording. Very small though.
The stereotype.
I'm in a pretty cold town, so we don't have many spiders.
That's good.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Nolan, how you been? What you up to?
I'm all right. Just let's see, what have I done in the last week? I played a little bit of this to try to get myself kind of refreshed on some things, mostly for music, and just because it's a fun game.
Oh shoot! I got.
You should do that.
No, yeah, keep talking.
Yeah. And not game related. I just I just signed up at this gym in town where like literally everybody that I know in my town goes to this gym.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny. And on Saturday, one of my friends was like, "Hey, there's a yoga class at 9:30. And you're gonna go to it with me." I'm like, "Oh, really?" She's like, "Yeah."
I had a nightmare about this last night.
Yoga class?
Yeah, yoga.
No. Yeah, so I went to a yoga class for the first time ever on Saturday.
How flexible are you?
Apparently, I shocked her. She's like, "Wow, you did really good. Like, I wasn't expecting that." I'm like, "Thank you." So, like,
absolutely can't tell if that's a compliment or not.
Like, I'll take it as a compliment. But I didn't do too bad. I didn't fall over, and I didn't like do the yeah. So it wasn't too bad, and actually was kind of fun. So I'll probably do that in the future. Amazingly
cool.
Mm-hmm. You know, good with yoga is CFG tights.
Oh yeah,
they still haven't shown up yet. They still haven't shown up yet. Like they're supposed to show up later this week or something. But
yeah, we
CFG tights, really?
Yeah, he got some. Well, they're technically. Well, they're not really. I mean, they're not called tights. What are they called? Leggings. That's it.
Leggings. Sorry.
Yeah, some people asked for them, and when I say some people, I mean Nolan. And so we provided.
No, it was like a group of like some of the girls, and then I was just like chiding in, making it a joke, and then it was like, "I hope you're kidding." I'm like, "Mostly," and they happened, and then I feel like then someone tagged me in it. I'm like, "Well, okay."
Sure. And you felt obligated to get them.
I felt obligated, and also like, well, you know what? Here, have some money.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so what's funny is, so none of the girls that wanted them bought any. Just you.
Really?
Yeah, as far as I know, you're the only person who has them.
But you guys start stocking CFG branded cars. I'll totally buy one. I promise.
CFG branded what?
Cars. Just buy a few cars and put your logo on them. I'll totally buy one. I promise. Okay, it won't be a waste of your money at all.
Yeah, we'll get a Prius and slap the logo on the hood. And
that's the best car
with some racing stripes to make it go faster.
That's how that works.
Well, anyway, so
red ones go faster.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, then we discovered that. So after you bought the leggings, we got to see like how much money we make off of them. That's the highest profit margin item that company offers. So we made more money off of you than we have anybody else. So that's fun. And welcome. Yes, for those of you listening at home, no, the people who contribute to this channel don't get employee discounts on anything, as I found out the hard way when I had to pay full price for my t-shirts.
I was hoping I could get some discounts for being a guest.
No.
Now that I'm like part of your team.
Oh, is that what they
exactly? Yeah. Joel's out.
No, I'm probably not going to buy anything because the shipping to Australia is not worth it.
That's true. It's probably
like so much money,
and it would take like a year and a half to get there.
And then there's the exchange rate as well, because our dollar's not worth very much.
That's true.
Yeah. Fun times.
All right, me. I have been hanging out with Caspian.
No one cares about you.
Fine. How do I mute Dan? No. I've been hanging out with Caspian. I'm working on a lot of stuff CFG related behind the scenes. I'm gonna get. Caspian loves Minecraft. I sit down at Minecraft and it's kind of overwhelming because I'm like, in my mind there is such a thing as too much to do. But then I play Breath of the Wild, and I don't have that problem there. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should.
Breath of the Wild's really simple. It's like Pac-Man. It's so simple.
Yeah, just up, left, right, down.
Yeah, you just move forward and press the button to attack the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sit down with him and try and figure this Minecraft thing out because I'm very aware that everybody and their mother plays Minecraft, and I feel like if CFG had a Minecraft server, that would do well. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna give this thing a shot. Also, I'm hoping to become competitive enough in Splatoon 2 when it comes out that maybe somebody will give a crap. Not like enough that I'm gonna like go to a tournament and win any money or anything, but at least enough to, you know, help CrossForge Gaming gain a little bit of notoriety. So when that comes out a week from this coming Friday, I think, spent a lot of time playing that, and been editing the latest episode of Patty Plays Pathetically, which is Shantae Risky's Revenge. And ooh, for an E10 rated game, there's a lot of cleavage in that game.
There is.
It's just everywhere. Like, I booted it. I never played a Shantae game ever, and I booted it up to play it and was like, wow, makes Princess Jasmine look modest. So it's that's not to say that the game isn't fun, because the game is fun. I enjoyed the game.
It's a fun game.
Until I got lost and had no
never
idea.
Heard of it.
It seems to be big with the Nintendo crowd, but I played it on PC. So anyway, so now that we're done with all that stuff, oh, you know, I don't think I actually said that we were going to be playing Final Fantasy IV. Or talking about it. We're not going to be playing it. You should have done that already.
I'm not going to be playing it.
That's true. You're not going to be playing it at all.
I haven't played it.
So Final Fantasy IV.
What I know about it, I'll tell you everything I know about it. It was on SNES.
And there you go.
I'm currently going on the Wikipedia page to find out more.
Well, you're about to find out more, because we're going to go through some of these credits. So technically here in the U.S., it's known as Final Fantasy II.
Yes, but I figure if you say it's 4, there's less confusion.
You guys say everything wrong.
No, we only.
You guys also think.
We think what?
You guys also think that you spell things different because you just had to be so different.
It was
like aluminum. Like, what is that? Who says aluminum except Americans?
Wait, what do you call it?
Aluminium.
What?
Believe it or not. The guy who discovered aluminium, he sent a letter to various countries, and he misspelled it for Americans. That's the only reason you say it differently. At least that's what my science teacher told me in high school. I have no idea if that's true, but it's a funny story.
I thought it was just because while we were dumping tea into the Boston Harbor, we were like, theater, we're gonna switch the R and the E, because forget you, England. Why does color have a U in it? That's dumb. That was
too many balls. And you're like, let's drive on the wrong side of the road and swap our cars around just to be annoying.
See that one, I realize we're gonna get off on a tangent here, but that one I've always wondered, like, where was the rules of driving first established?
Honestly, America. I think that was because France and England did it differently, and America seemed to cozy up to France a lot, even though France are a bunch of pansies. So,
well, because my
no offense to any French viewers, they're fine now. I'm talking about old style France, where the white flag was their weapon of choice.
Well, I asked because like the U.S. with Henry Ford, I realized he didn't invent the car, but he made the car.
He made the Model T.
Yeah, he made, and he in the assembly line, he made it affordable. So I was just like, well, where did all these rules for driving come from? Because were we the ones who were like, forget the rest of the world, we're driving on the right side, or was it the rest of the world that said that's dumb, we're gonna do it on the left?
Well, didn't Germany have cars first though? Like, I feel like
that sounds like something they would do
before.
Yeah, Germany had
freaking nuts.
The Beetle.
Yeah.
Actually, Mr. Hitler himself commissioned for the Beetle.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Volkswagen.
Because he was like, needed. Yeah, exactly. The people's car.
That's what it means.
I love this tangent.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy IV.
Final Fantasy IV. All right. So it was developed by SquareSoft, who is now known as Square Enix because they merged with their biggest JRPG competitor, Enix. It's published also by Square. The director is help me out here.
Hironobu Sakaguchi.
Sure. Yeah, Sakaguchi I was going to get. That other word, I'm like, I don't know. It's designed by Takashi Tokita, and the composer is the great Nobuo Natsu.
I know.
What a legend.
So good. Oh yeah.
I know everything about him.
Including that he. So there's another thing you know about
absolutely nothing.
There's another thing you know.
It was
like
released.
My favorite game.
Yeah, of all time.
Of all time.
Favorite game of all time.
Yeah. Forget Breath of the Wild. Final Fantasy IV is where it's at. What?
I mean, yeah, but
what?
I haven't played Breath of the Wild, so I can't say.
What is it? Did this game officially come out in Australia, like on the Super Nintendo?
I would assume, yeah. Basically, we had the same sort of stuff that America had. I don't know how big the SNES was over here, but it definitely came out in Australia because I've got a friend who has one.
Okay.
I was born in 1996, so my
so
first console was an N64.
After this,
I'm not the youngest one.
There you go. We got a new baby in the group.
Oi, mate, you're the one with only half a beard.
It's true.
Yeah, I know.
All right. What was I? saying?
I would assume it was released in Australia. Basically, the North America release and the Australian release. Sometimes it's different dates, but generally, like, we'll get the same stuff.
Yeah. Well, then I wonder if it would be known as Final Fantasy II in your neck of the woods.
I got no idea.
Yeah. But anyway, I feel like we've talked about that on the show before when we talked about the first Final Fantasy, but for those of you who are confused as to why we're calling it two different things, for some reason, Squaresoft, when they were localizing things to the US, they only did Final Fantasy 1 on the NES, and they didn't do 2 and 3 outside of Japan. Yeah. Those are Japan only. So then when Final Fantasy 4 for the Super Nintendo came to the West, they were just like, just call it 2, and they'll never know. And and then
Google didn't exist back then, did it?
Right. Yeah. So unless like Nintendo Power told you, you wouldn't probably know.
Yeah.
Then they did the same thing with Final Fantasy V. That did not come to the West until I think it got a port on the PlayStation. Yeah. So then Final Fantasy VI was called 3 here in the West, and then when 7 came out for the PlayStation,
7.
They just called it 7, and so all of us are like, "Wait, you're missing 4 of these games. What happened?" And then that's when they're like, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's like 3 or 4 games that y'all didn't get, and we also changed the numbered scheme." So, and then they went and released. Actually, every Final Fantasy got retroactively released for the PlayStation, except 3. 3's first time it ever came to the West officially was that DS remake, which was actually pretty darn good.
It was.
I enjoyed that.
And it was.
All right, so we already know that Daniel did not play this growing up. Nolan? Did you play it growing up, or what was your first experience?
No worries, man. No, because I did not have a SNES growing up. I went from NES to the N64. But I also didn't play RPGs back then. So, because I mean, the only thing I played was Pokemon. But then, like Kingdom Hearts got me into Final Fantasy and stuff, and like going through, and like, there's a game called Final Fantasy Dissidia, which is basically a Final Fantasy fighting game, which I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
I've heard of it. Never played it. I've heard of it.
It's pretty fun. And like one of the heroes was like, Cecil Harvey. Who's he from? What's he from? 4. This sounds cool. Okay, do this. And I got it on the PSP. It was like a HD remake. It doesn't look like the DS one. It's different, but playing, I'm like, this is really cool, and it's a lot of fun because there's a lot of stuff that like, there's a lot of things that were in this game that weren't in any other Final Fantasy game, like like some of the classes and stuff. Like this was I think I think with the exception of maybe 5, no, not even that, was you could have 5 party members go with you, which is like the most you could have.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also like there's you have the monks and like fighters and stuff. This was the only main game where you got to have a paladin, which I like those, or a what's the other thing? A bard. Like just the guy, like the prince plays music and then he attacks people with it or like heals you.
Right.
And it was a lot of different things with that. This game, it was really cool. And then there was even the storyline of it was like, oh, hey, there's this little thing. Like, I'm not gonna give anything away really. They're like, oh, hey, there's the twist thing at the end. It's actually this, or
Oh, now I know there's a twist at the end. I'm going to spend the whole time guessing the twist.
I know. So now you're gonna say it.
His mom's actually a lizard person.
Maybe.
We don't actually have any way of knowing that that's not true because his mom's not in it. So.
Yeah, his mom's not in it.
So for all we know, she is.
Can I confirm? We are still talking about Final Fantasy, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, cool.
Well, so other things that this game introduced. So like Final Fantasy 1, 2, and even the Japanese version of 3. So if you played the westernized version of 3, this is not the case because they made a lot of changes to the Western version of 3. But 4 was the first time that you didn't just pick a bunch of nameless people and a class for them. Like Cecil, the knight, was a character. He had a name. I mean, you could change the name if you wanted to.
Backstory, all that.
Yeah, backstory and all this stuff. And then the character later that is the Dragoon class, he's a character. All the characters in it are you couldn't. I think in 3, even on the NES, I'm pretty sure you could swap out. Like in 1 and 2, you pick the character's class, and that's what they were until the game ended. I'm pretty sure in 3, even the NES version, you could like, oh, I want this guy to be this now, and you could go somewhere and
I mean, 2
swap
was
all that out.
A little different. Like they kind of had like this is the character, but they also like the class thing. It was you leveled up differently in 2 than in like any other game.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, you like using swords? Okay, you level up your swords by attacking with that. Or you level up your health by getting hit, but so it was kind of there wasn't really a class.
Level up your health by taking damage.
Yeah, in fact, there was a glitch you could do that you can like say you're gonna attack this person, and because you started that, it acts as though it worked, and you can like do this for an hour. Then you could have like max health like very early on in the game.
That's pretty cool.
I love that.
Yeah,
and later.
Well, that's kind of how it works in real life. Like there's people that go and they get someone to whack them with sticks for like an hour, and they just slowly increase their pain tolerance.
There is some truth to that. So yeah,
there is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this game also, if you've played any turn-based JRPG, which I realize those are starting to become few and far between, and even games like Bravely Default don't have this because they use a different kind of system. But this was the first game to introduce the active time battle, which was the little bar at the beginning. So like in every Final Fantasy prior to this, everybody put in their actions, and then the game was like, okay, well, yeah, like this guy goes first, and this bad guy's got a speed stat that's a little bit better than this, so he's going to go second, and so on and so forth. And until you did a couple of turns in the fight, you might not necessarily know in what order everything's going to happen in. But in Final Fantasy IV, you could actually see it in real time. The bar would build up, and then you could do stuff from there. This game just also
like Pokemon,
just not like
it's exactly the same. It's probably honestly Pokemon's probably just a reskin.
That's it.
Exactly the same
game. Someone at the Pokemon company was like, let's just
like
this
I was playing
Nintendo game.
I was playing Smash Brothers the other day, and I realized that Ryu and Luigi are the same.
Oh,
I'm starting to think
because my brother was using Luigi. Sorry, bear with me here.
Okay.
My brother was using Luigi, and I was doing the Hadoukens, and he was shooting fireballs, and he started saying Hadouken, and then I started doing my whatever the spin. I did my spinning kick, and so he did his spinning move, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I did a Shoryuken, and he did his B up, and I was like, oh my gosh. And so, yeah, I was like, stupid clone characters. Nintendo's made too many.
Sakurai was like, look, they're on to us about the whole Fire Emblem reskinning thing, so here's an idea. Let's take Ryu. Let's take Luigi but put him in a karate gi and give him
exactly the same.
And no one will know the difference. Or no one will know that. Well, but Ryu doesn't have the little like where Luigi turns into a bullet and launches across the screen kind of thing. So
I was having fun.
I was about to say I think things might be
never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
I think video games work differently in Australia than they do everywhere else. Yeah, so
we don't have CNN over here.
That's you don't have CNN. That's probably a good thing.
Don't make gifts, people. They're coming for you.
Yeah, so those are the things that set this game apart, and for a while shaped the Final Fantasy series. Going forward. Now in this game, and I want to say, yeah, even in 1, 2, and 3, while this game had a 5th character in your party, not at all times. Sometimes you had one person, sometimes you had 2. You didn't really have any control over that. It was all part of the story. But like you couldn't swap characters out if you got to where like you had 6 people with you, you could almost guarantee that the story was going to do something to make one of those people not be able to be with you anymore. And sometimes it was very sad and it made you cry.
It's like, no, I want Tella. He's the super wizard.
Don't do this to me. Yeah. I leveled this dude up to level 99, and now you're telling me I can't use him. It's kind of like if most of us here have played Final Fantasy VII. You put all that work.
I know exactly where you're going
into Aerith, and then she gets sorted through the back, and you're like, well, I'm glad I did all that work on my healer. Thank you.
Yeah.
Square.
Yeah. No. Another game that I unfortunately haven't played. I've never been hugely into my turn-based stuff.
Yeah. It's not brand.
I was very much a casual as a kid. Like I just played whatever we owned on my N64 and then original Xbox. I was really into Halo, but then I became a bit more serious about gaming a couple of years ago, but mainly on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So never been able to play much Final Fantasy.
Yeah, the N64 not really known for its JRPGs at all. I'm trying to think of one, and I can't.
Paper Mario.
There you go, Paper Mario.
Yeah.
The
Quest 64.
There you go, dude. I have.
What was unfortunate though? What was unfortunate is like I was pretty young. Like we still actually have it. But
yeah.
When we were playing it, I was like 4 or 5, so I wasn't choosing games, and my brothers were lame. So we didn't get Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or Super Smash Brothers.
Oh,
you were like, here's the 3 reasons for an N64. Let's not get it.
Look, Zelda is my favorite series of all time. Up until when I played Breath of the Wild, Majora's Mask was my favorite game of all time.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my first experience with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask was on Project 64 using a keyboard.
Ooh.
Gosh.
You have no idea how hard it is to aim a bow.
That's so bad. Well, when we inevitably do Majora's Mask on this show, we'll have to have you on.
Yeah, get me on. I know a lot about that game, and I'm obsessed with it. It still has my favorite story of any game ever.
The Cafe Quest?
Andrew and Cafe makes me cry every time.
Oh, dude, it's so sad.
It's so... I don't know, like it's cute and it's sad, but then you save the world and then you see their marriage and it's cute.
I know, it's like, aw.
So that's the one where you wind up with the couple's mask, correct?
Yeah.
That quest is the reason that I got angry at that game, and it's now the only Zelda game I've ever owned that I did not beat. I got all the way to like the last event or two,
and you didn't beat that dungeon, and then you lost the mask.
Or something like that, and I was so. And then it's like, oh, you have to start the whole thing over, and I'm like, nope,
nope,
put it down.
Done.
And I
did the same.
I
did the same, but I was like, you know what? I love this game. I'm just gonna do it anyway. So I did it anyway.
I'll bet as long as the little battery pack that's inside my cartridge didn't die, I'll bet if I put the cartridge in my N64 that file is still there, laughing at me like, you didn't do it.
Yeah. I bought Ocarina of Time Online for N64. I own it now, and the little battery pack's dead, so I can't save my game.
You can replace those though.
Yeah, no, I haven't found anywhere in Australia that'll do that for me. Not the town I'm from, anyway.
Yeah,
maybe I should take it to Sydney where I'm studying. I'm sure they have somewhere that'll do it in Sydney. It's pretty big.
Yeah, it is. It is. I hear it's a big place. It's got that
big place. It's no New York, but it's pretty big.
That's everything I know about.
Opera House is lovely. I've been to a few concerts there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Does Symphony of the Goddess ever come down there? That Zelda Symphony?
Yeah, that's coming around pretty soon, but I'm not sure if I can make it. Let me check that date.
I'm going in New Orleans when it shows up in December.
Oh no, come see it in Australia. Come say hi. I live in Sydney most of the time. I'm just on holidays at the moment, so I'm back at home.
Yeah, sure. Let me see. Delta Airlines plane tickets.
As we all check
How
it.
much did that cost?
No, Fly United. Just make sure you take some martial arts classes first.
Oh boy. Okay. Anyway, back to Final Fantasy.
You could fly Qantas.
I don't even know what that is.
That's like the main Australian airline. It's the oldest airline in the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fly Oceanic and then wind up on an island with a smoke monster. Anybody here watch Lost, or am I the only one? I might be.
A little bit. I haven't finished it, so it's kind of
it's good.
Gee, thanks. They're in Melbourne, Australia, and Perth, and in Auckland, New Zealand, where I will not be going again for a long time.
My uncle lives in Melbourne, Florida, but when I just say Melbourne, I have to explain to everybody that I'm not talking about Australia. So,
Melbourne, Australia is like way more cultured than Sydney. It's a much better place, honestly. But
yeah.
I make fun of it because I live in Sydney most of the time. So
stinking Melbourne.
Stupid Melbourne.
All right, back to FF4. And the other big
talking about Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I know. The other big thing about this game is, at least in my opinion, and I know my opinion probably doesn't count a whole lot for this since I didn't actually play 1, 2, and 3 very much.
Or for anything else.
I feel like this was probably the first Final Fantasy game where the music just it really shined. Maybe that's because of the Super Nintendo sound chip. I mean, of course, the Final Fantasy theme has been around for since the very first one. So
the prelude.
You can't take that away from the first game. But the instruments. And then, like, what's crazy is that you hear music from like really early Super Nintendo games, like Super Mario World and this one, and then music on the same hardware, but 3 and 4 years later, Donkey Kong Country, Final Fantasy 3, Yoshi's Island, and it's like there's no way that this is happening on the same machine.
Well, honestly, that still happens. Look at the Wii U. If you compare Breath of the Wild to some of the earlier games on the Wii U, and just see like even the other Zelda, like Twilight Princess and all that, because they're reskinned for it, and it's just like so much more advanced. So yeah, honestly, I think that happens all the time. It happened on, especially I remember Xbox 360, comparing like Halo 3 and Halo Reach.
Yep.
Like
I still love Reach. I know it gets a lot of hate for some reason, but
does it get a lot of hate? Honestly, I don't know anyone who hates it.
Really?
And here in the States, the IGN Xbox podcast, pretty much all of them are like Reach is before of the Bungie Halos, they all agree that Reach is the weakest, and I'm like, I think it's the best one.
I like Reach a lot. Yeah, like
Reach was the ultimate. Honestly, I think it was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I loved Halo 3 as well, and then Halo 2 has some of the coolest missions. I don't know.
I think
Reach I absolutely campaign. Loved Halo.
Yeah, I loved it, and then 4 came out, and I loved it a little less, and then 5 came out, and I went, forget you, Microsoft. You're going to have to like give me a copy of 6 for free, or I'm probably not playing it.
Yeah, I need to play 5. I'm sure I could go down to EB Games, which is our GameStop, and
yeah,
it's probably like $5 pre-owned now.
You could probably find someone who would pay you to take it from them.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to play it because I don't know. It's like that was my childhood game was Halo. I've been playing it since I was 5. I'm sure.
Playing
it's a little violent, but
5.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, more like 6. Yeah, I was 6 when we started playing.
That's different.
Yeah,
that's totally different.
You're like a completely different person.
Way more mature. I was way more able to handle brutally beating aliens to death with a gun.
Bludgeoning an alien in the face.
That reminds me, because I'm thinking about, you living in Australia, and they're a lot more strict about the games that they'll let come out.
Oh, that's right, huh?
And so that is reminding me of the game we're supposed to be talking about. The editing job that they did to some of the dialogue is quite humorous here in the West, and the most famous line, and I don't know what it was in the original script, even though I'm I'm pretty sure they've changed it to a more accurate translation for newer releases of this game. But when it first came out back in whatever it was, 90, 91, with Taylor, the old man, calls one of the other characters a Spoony Bard.
Spoony Bard, yes. I love Spoony Bard. That's like one of my all-time.
And I don't know what they were editing. I don't know what he actually
called him,
but I think that's legit what it is.
Oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
That's legit what it is. It's just
And actually, let me see. Define.
I think I know what his favorite cuddling position is.
So, Spoony is sentimentally or foolishly amorous. Well, now I got to figure out what the heck amorous means, because
amorous, like love.
Amorous. Is that what that is?
Like amor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amorous.
Showing, feeling, or relating to sexual desire. Good editing job, Square. You let sex enter the conversation.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Now we got to burn all our copies because we can't handle it here in the West. No. So yeah, that was I'm sure there are other things, but the game is pretty famous for its English translation being rather odd. And Spoony Bard being one of the.
It's not the worst I've seen. What's the name of that game where they're like, all your base belong to us?
It's a Sega game. What's it called?
That translation is one of my favorite things ever. I kind of want to play the game just to read the dialogue. It's you.
Let's see. Come on. What game is it on?
It was on the Mega Drive.
It's in the introduction to Zero Wing.
Zero Wing. There we go.
That's it.
By Cats.
By Cats.
That is the guy's name.
So
that's amazing.
That's it's not as bad as that. That game. I remember all the songs that came out around that. You'd get on Napster and you'd just search all your bass, and like 15 different like techno songs would pop up all using it. It's fantastic.
While I'm here, since we've already done that, so there's the main one that all your base are belong to us. Another one is you have no chance to survive. Make your time.
Yep.
And then supposed to be Treasure what little time remains in your lives for great justice.
And then isn't there like move every zig, whatever the heck that means?
Take off every zig.
That's it. Like, what is that?
Take your zigs off, guys.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Very quickly, so we can move on. So I can get out of my bedroom and let my wife go to bed because she's got to work in the morning. Actually, I got to work in the morning too. What am I talking about?
Oh, that's right. It's like nighttime over there.
Yeah, it is. So it's
Tuesday over here.
Is the
Tuesday?
Is the sun coming up where you are? I don't know how that works. I don't.
It's a new dawning.
I don't know how time works. It's what? After midday. Okay. Anyway, so
see that? It's still light out for me.
The cultural relevance being that pretty much every JRPG after this, at least until Western RPGs started, like that more action adventure RPG started becoming popular. There for a while, every JRPG, the formula was pretty much like this. You can see the active time battle system in Final Fantasy III and Chrono Trigger, in games that weren't Squaresoft games. It was in all the PlayStation Final Fantasy games. I guess
until I think I don't know about 12 because I never played 12, but like it was in 10 still.
Yeah, and then 11 was an MMO, so it wouldn't have been in that. I want to say it wasn't in 12. That 12 was a lot more like Xenoblade is today and stuff.
Yeah, like I know it wasn't in 13. I don't know about 12. So
we don't talk about 13. The game's dumb.
Yeah, it's just,
stupid lightning and all that stuff. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, we already talked about the active time, but so that's your little trivia here. The game's probably too old to have a Metacritic score.
It is not. I know what it is.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Then Daniel, we play a game here where we do guess the Metacritic score, and we play it Price is Right style, so you can't go over. But I say Price is Right style, like this is just something that you would know. And you living in Australia, I don't know if you know what that is.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I don't think we have it over here, or if we do, I don't watch that much TV. Yeah. I watch Netflix. So
that's probably wise. Okay, so what it means is you can't, in order for your guess to count, you cannot go over it. So you want to be under and you want to be closer to it than me. And actually, because we play that way, there's actually an advantage to going not first. So I'll go ahead and go first. Yeah. And you said you already have it, Nolan, in front of you?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so Nolan should go
first. Well, I want to specify this is it's not for the SNES, though.
Okay, so it's
this is the DS version.
Okay.
Which is also the same one as Steam and all that.
Right. So. I'm going to guess that. So it's the DS version. I'm going to guess that pretty high. I'm going to say that's probably an 87. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I'm going to go with an 88.
88. All right.
There you go. He knows how to play this.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, you guys are both high.
Both high. Okay. So
dang it.
75.
76. Okay. No matter what, I will win unless he gets the right guess.
Daniel won. It was actually 85. So you guys were really close.
Oh, we were really close. Man.
Yeah, it's 85.
Should have gone down.
So,
I was even thinking about doing it. Yeah. But I was like, that's a dumb idea.
Well, Daniel, you were
I win.
You're the current champion. So, and then we play another game to figure out what next episode's game is going to be. We play 20 questions. So I know what the game is because I'm picking it. My two co-hosts here do not know what the game is. They have 20 questions of asking yes or no questions to figure out what that game is, starting now.
Tempted to ask animal, mineral, or vegetable, but that's really dumb.
Not quite.
I think that would help.
Is the game developed by a Japanese or a US company?
You have to ask yes or no questions. So.
Oh, dang it! Is the game developed by a Japanese company?
Yes.
Okay. In the game, do you play as the main character as a like human?
Yes.
A humanoid person. Okay.
That is accurate.
Okay.
Humanoid.
Supposed to like animals or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you play as a male character?
Yes. I mean, if we can assume his gender, which I think that's.
I feel like you did right there, so.
Over in Australia, it's not as much of a thing, thankfully.
Yeah. Man, maybe I should move there and get away from all the crazy people.
You should. It's great. We don't have guns though.
No, but then you got like spiders and snakes and birds.
Yeah, you don't need guns, but you can just chuck your pet at them and it'll probably kill them.
Like when anyway.
What's funny is Australia's really not that dangerous, but we like to convince tourists it is. Although we do have drop bears. They're fun.
Drop bears.
Anyway, that's the 3 questions. So.
Let's see. Was this game made after January 1st, 2000?
No.
Okay.
Is this a Nintendo game?
Okay. Do you mean was it developed by Nintendo?
As in, like, yeah, was it developed by Nintendo?
No.
Okay. This game came out
from what Patrick asked me that it was on a Nintendo console.
Probably. Did this come out before January 1st, 1990?
No.
Okay. It's just a 90s game then. Okay.
Cool. We've just got like a very crazy decade of games.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I know.
With a male protagonist, that's a good one to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Really narrow it down. It's not Metroid.
It's not Metroid.
Okay. Why can't Metroid crawl?
All right. Was it developed by Rare?
No. But you asked if it was a Japanese developed company.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
And Rare's British, so that was question 7 though.
Yeah.
Damn it. Sorry.
That's okay. Was this shoot, my question left me. Well, was it on the Super Nintendo?
Nope.
Okay. I remember what I was going to ask.
Okay. So it was on the N64, I'm going to assume. I'm not going to ask that, though.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Sorry, I cannot think of a question.
Well, Nolan, if you remember yours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead if you want to.
Okay. Is this a licensed game?
I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
You sure? So we don't have the DuckTale.
No.
DuckTale situation again.
No. Yeah, it is not a licensed game. Yeah.
Okay.
That was 9 questions.
Oh gosh, we're not gonna get this.
Ooh.
Is the game an RPG?
No one would call it that. I mean, I'm sure you could find some guy who's like, you play the role as, so it is. No, but
that's not. No.
Yeah, nobody would nobody in their right mind who doesn't want to just fight me about something would call it an RPG. So,
oh, hang on. Let me Google something real quick.
It's not licensed. You said it was not developed by Nintendo?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, that throws that theory out then. You're like Super Mario Land 2.
Was it developed by Philips?
No.
Philips?
No.
No.
We don't. And I was like, yes.
We don't talk about those.
No. Those aren't things.
You said it was on a Nintendo system, correct?
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that. Okay, I'm sorry.
I asked for clarification. I asked for clarification for a question that would probably lead you to believe that it was, but I didn't actually say that it was.
Well, you know what? Was this on a Nintendo console?
Yes.
Okay.
That was,
in case it was like
that was question 12. So it was in the 90s. It's a male human protagonist. It is on a Nintendo console, but not developed by Nintendo, and it was developed in Japan.
No, that's PlayStation.
Oh, and it's not.
There were games. There were games between Nintendo and PlayStation, like they're on both.
Yeah, they're not terribly many, but
a lot of ports.
They did exist.
Yeah. And not an RPG.
Right.
Which means it wouldn't be that easy.
Yeah, that's what led me to think it was a Zelda game, because a lot of people wouldn't consider those an RPG. Except for Breath of the Wild, of course.
And Zelda 2.
Zelda 2.
Zelda 2, I'd give it as one.
Yeah.
And then there's The Wand of Gamelon and Zelda's Adventure. And Link, The Faces of Evil.
Nope.
The best games ever made, everyone.
Yeah.
Never has a game contained so many memes.
Oh, wait. What was that on? Hold on.
It was on the CDI.
We also know that it's not. We also know that it's not a rare game, even though you should have known that before you asked.
I was on the
Shush.
Never mind.
I
just had a fantastic idea for one, but it is actually that's probably gonna be my next game then.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, then don't tell us what it is.
I won't. Dang.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Sorry.
I think 12 questions is what you've. So you're on question.
We've done 12.
Well, was it developed by? Well, no, never mind. That's not human.
That's not human. You don't have rights.
No.
It doesn't help me that I have no idea what other games you guys have talked about so far.
That's also true. But I also forget some of those games too. So
I don't want to guess another Final Fantasy game, even though it could be.
I mean, it could be, but
it could be. I don't know. I feel like if you talked about Final Fantasy, people would stop listening.
We try to space them out a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There are.
So you haven't narrowed down the developer.
You know, I was gonna say like
you haven't narrowed down the console. You know, it's not the Super NES, but you don't know if it's the NES, the N64, or some version of the Game Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the game widely considered to be good?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean, I like it. Hang on. Game rankings. Yeah. Good would be what. Yeah. And most people would consider. Most people who've played it would consider to be good.
Okay. Is it part of a franchise?
Yes.
Okay. Is that 14?
That was 14. Yep.
Okay.
So you have 6 left. Well, really, you have 5 because the last one has to be your guess. Let's see if anybody in the no one in the chat's got any ideas.
No,
or at least they're not saying. Yeah, We're live on YouTube.
We're live on this right now. Yeah.
Oh, so dudes.
There's only one guy watching, so it's cool. Good old.
Assad. Yeah.
As I say, that's Assad, right? Yeah.
That's Assad. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Assad. I know Assad. All right.
Yeah.
So Assad, if you want to throw some questions out there and help my
please do.
out, knock yourself out. My Dr. Pepper is very watery right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He says he has no idea.
Okay. Well, shoot.
Gosh.
It's widely considered to be good. Not very good, not bad, but
not amazing, not a bad game. Good game.
Human protagonist. It's on a Nintendo console that came out. Game came out in the 90s.
Was it developed by Capcom?
No, it was not.
Oh, that would have been.
That would have been a good one to know.
Yeah.
I feel like Capcom didn't have very many. Well,
is this Konami?
It is Konami.
Oh,
so that was question 16.
Okay.
We're getting there now. Oh gosh, there's quite a few Konami games for the N64.
Yeah. We need to figure out what system it's on. It's part of a franchise.
It's part of a franchise.
And this game in particular is considered good.
That is correct.
Okay. It's not Castlevania 64 then.
That would be accurate.
Yeah.
Not Castlevania 64.
I don't know what Konami games are on. I'm like,
I'm totally not Googling that right now. I don't know if that's in the spirit of things.
Joel does it.
Yeah, Joel utilizes Google.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. So
I try not to, but sometimes.
It's disappointing Joel's not here.
I know. He doesn't like RPGs.
Yeah, he's weird.
He really doesn't like RPGs.
Like really, really doesn't like them.
He prefers games like Cooking Mama.
Yes. I don't true at all.
That's like his favorite sort, like children's cooking simulators.
That's actually why he skipped, so that he could play Cooking Mama.
On you, Joel. Stick to what you like, hey?
Yep.
Ooh. So I was thinking it might be a Contra game. That's a good point.
It could be.
I know. I'm like,
not be.
I know. I'm like, it's not. I'm trying to think of. I think most of the Contra games were in the 80s, except for Super C, and that's just a hot mess.
I just
at
got
least every time I've played it.
I just got distracted because I'm now on probably the list of Konami games on Wikipedia that Daniel's looking at, and I just learned that they were the distributor for the GameCube version of Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex.
Wow, there was a really
weird. Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. So there's that.
Okay,
that's not the game. By the
way, yeah, I imagine it's not.
Well, okay, so not those last three in that list because they're from 2000.
Yeah, and that what y'all are on question 17. He just did 16. So.
No.
Is it Castlevania Legacy of Darkness?
No. That was
a waste of a question.
That was question 17. You got 2 more and then your guess.
I know. Let's see.
This is making for some great podcasting, by the way.
Oh yeah, I know.
You guys saying and let's see over and over again.
That's just how people talk over here. Yeah. You just walk around and everyone's like, ah.
Oh, so it's like The Walking Dead, but in real life.
That's just Dubbo. Seriously, there's a town. It's like 2 hours away from where I live, and it's called Dubbo. It's impossible to say it without sounding bogan. Like even the voice, like even when you're on the train and you're going through and it's telling you which stations you're going to, it's like stopping now at Orange, Bathurst, and Dubbo.
That's fantastic.
I love Australia. Oh gosh.
It's not Super Nintendo, and it's like throwing me off so much.
Okay. See, there's like a few games it could be.
I know.
That I found on this list, and it's driving me nuts. What is that game? Nope.
Sexy Proteus, obviously.
It's what?
Sexy Proteus. That's what it has to be.
No.
I have no idea. I'm like, because everything that I want to say, from a Konami game is from the 80s. So I'm just like,
all right. Well,
or it's on the Super Nintendo.
I'm gonna give y'all a hint.
Okay.
The series on the system that this game is on, the series has more than one entry on that console.
Okay.
Oh, I think I know it's series, but I really don't want to waste a question.
What are you thinking? Talk it out. What are you thinking?
I don't even know how to say it. Is it okay? Is the series like Gomon or something like that?
That is the series. Go
yes.
On. Yeah.
Boom. We got 2 questions left in this 2 games.
So you just got to figure out which one it is.
Wait, the Mystic.
Right. Is it Goemon's Great Adventure?
It's not Goemon's Great Adventure.
So is it Mystical Ninja starring Goemon?
Yes, it's Mystical Ninja.
Yeah, boy!
Oh my god! I'm like, I don't know. I'm looking at a weird list of games.
I've never heard of it in my life. Thank you, Google.
Yeah, the game's really good. It's on the N64.
It is. I played that. That's right.
It's the game that is probably closest to a 3D Zelda game that isn't a Zelda game.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's also very, very Japanese and very, very weird.
Yeah.
It's very, very Japanese.
Yes.
The picture of the cover I'm looking at right now, it's creeping me out.
Yeah. there's a giant robot thing in it, and yeah, it's pretty funny. Mostly because there's a lot of Japanese things in it that I didn't understand, but I was like, that's silly. The
story of Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, a quest to thwart dancers in a peach-shaped spaceship from using laser weaponry to convert Japan to a giant stage and its citizens to loyal dancers. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Just think of a very weird anime. That's this game. All right.
That could mean many things, but
all right.
So the game is unfortunately, I'm pretty sure the game is just on N64. I don't believe that it's been re-released for any. It might be on like Wii Virtual Console.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in some territories. I don't know. It's actually, I would imagine that it's probably on Wii Virtual Console in Japan, which likely does not help anybody listening to this show. But there's
not so much.
Yeah. So
okay.
But it's really fun.
So there's a sort of different version of the game that was put on the Game Boy. Like it's got the same name, but it's a different game, basically.
That's weird. It's probably nothing like the N64 game.
Right? Yeah, probably.
Seeing as the N64 game was in full 3D and
yeah.
Oh,
and this is on.
They just had to overclock your Game Boy.
Yeah.
Like open it up.
It's not even on Game Boy Advance.
The Game Boy.
Just on Game Boy, like the green and black one. So, so if you can get your hands on that, play it. If not, go watch somebody do a Let's Play on YouTube and come join us next time as we talk about that. All right. So this is the part of the show, Daniel, where we plug ourselves. So if there's anything on the internet that you do that you would like people to know about, now would be the time to let them know. If not, then that's fine too.
Yeah, I don't do anything.
Yeah, you just except fill in for Joel when he's not here.
I fill in for Joel when he's not here. So everyone, I don't know, watch Original Gamers podcast.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
that's
my plug. Everyone listen. It's quite good. I've been listening to this whole episode. I think.
I think I was here. I was definitely there.
Yeah. Bit, who knows? I've had a cold the last couple of days, so I'm a bit tired.
Yeah,
it happens.
And since Joel's not here, you could go get on Ubisoft's Uplay and find Obi-Wan Kenobi and tell that guy that he's a punk because he took Joel's username. Yeah,
I remember that.
Daniel, since you don't know, Joel is Obi-Wan Kenobi on everything, but when he went to sign up for a Uplay account, it was already taken.
And there was
I have Joel friended on Steam?
Maybe, I don't know, but if you do, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you do, so
nope.
Aw, all right.
My picture's a picture of Robbie Rotten.
I don't know what that is.
It's a meme.
Sadness.
You remember We Are Number One?
Yeah.
Old folks.
I must
get with the times.
I know what that is. Yeah.
I don't know. I know Harambe. That count for anything?
That was 6 months earlier.
And did Cecil the Lion get anything, or were people just mad about that? I don't remember.
No, he got it a bit.
We were upset.
It wasn't quite to the extent that Harambe got it.
Probably because his name wasn't nearly as cool. Harambe is just a good name.
I remember there was an ironic phase when Harambe was starting to get about old. The meme that people were just like, everyone, can we stop talking about Harambe? Cecil the Lion didn't get this kind of attention. So they start talking about Cecil. I can't remember what the show got out for Cecil or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I told my wife I was going to be done within 10 minutes of 10 o'clock, and it's 15 after, so I gotta wrap up. All right, Nolan, go ahead. Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me at Baseman214, Baseman21491, or Icy White Falcon, wherever games are sold. Whatever kind of internet console things of that nature. Xbox.
You can go into your local EB Games.
Go to your EB Games or GameStop, depending on which.
What country you live in.
Guaranteed.
Oh yeah, that can be my plug. Everyone come to Australia. It's great.
Yeah.
You won't die, I promise.
I don't know. It sounds like a promise you might not be able to.
I promise you won't die.
You can find me right here on this show, Original Gamers Podcast. You can also find me on every Thursday on this YouTube channel, Patty Plays Pathetically. I stream a game live every now and then. I just streamed Hollow Knight. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that game a lot. And this week's episode will be Shantae Risky's Revenge. Hollow Knight will be next week. Check out CrossForge Gaming. You can go to crosswordsgaming.com. That'll take you to the Facebook page. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe this YouTube channel. We really, really, really want to get to 100 subscribers so we can get that custom URL. And what's that?
I'm gonna subscribe.
You better. And I, like I said, I don't remember where I said this, but when we get to 100 subs, I'm gonna go through the 100 subscribers and I'm gonna randomly pick a name and I'm gonna give away a Steam game. I have a feeling it's gonna be a copy of The Witness because I have 2 copies of that one that
you're
I
at 49 subscribers now. You're about to hit 50.
About to hit 50.
Like that.
5-0.
5-0.
Yeah, so
hang on, let me get my other YouTube account.
Yes.
No, that doesn't count.
Those are all the places that you can find me. All right, Nolan, let's hear about this music and then say goodbye.
Cool. All right, so for all of you listening to the podcast, the audio portion of the show, the episode started off with the Red Wings theme, which is the main character, Cecil, is the captain of the Red Wings, which is like basically the Air Force of this kingdom. It's a really nice, upbeat theme. And then what you're about to hear is probably my favorite. Yeah, definitely. Favorite theme for the game was Battle Against the Four Fiends, which is just really cool and catchy. It's one of
such a good song. And if you read the title of it very quickly and aren't paying attention, it might look like it says Battle Against the Four Friends.
Ooh, that too.
But it's fiends. I mean, I guess they're friends with each other, but not anybody else.
They're sort of friends with each other.
Yeah. I don't know, for all I know, they hate each other because they're fiends. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Original Gamers Podcast. If you can, be playing Mystical Ninja starring Goemon for the next episode. And until then, we will see you around. Have a good one.
See you later, everyone. Baby.
Good Shermans, as Joel would say. He doesn't sound like Kermit the Frog at all. I don't know why.
Yes, I say it. Nice Kermit there.